we celebrate the healing miracle of Jesus Christ, of opening the eyes of a blind man, I'm going to share with you some of the thoughts. Today, we have witnessed a marvelous miracle performed by Jesus Christ. He created eyes for a man who was born blind, simply using soil and saliva. It was one of its kind and unmatched miracle. Not only did he give eyes to a man who was born blind, but it penetrated within his body deeply and opened the eyes of his soul. It enabled him to see and recognize God. It gave him faith, courage, and unwavering confession. He became an unshakable believer that Jesus is the Christ and that he comes from God. He declared him time after time that he was a prophet. The slander and threats did not make him waver. When he saw Jesus, again he confessed and worshipped him. While this miracle should have brought joy and hope to countless people, instead, many people missed out on seeing and recognizing the physical presence of God, among them the Creator of the universe. The Pharisees realized from the very beginning that Jesus Christ was the person responsible for the unprecedented healing that was reported to them. They conducted a thorough investigation aiming not at finding the truth, rather trying to disprove the miraculous healing. Despite the undefeated and irrefutable proofs of the healing, the Pharisees negated the miracle by utilizing the tools of slander and the assassination of character. Even though by law, actions of mercy were allowed on the Sabbath, they shamelessly stated that this man is a sinner. He cannot be from God, as he does not respect the Sabbath. Today's gospel reading teaches us that intelligence, science, scientific process, and research can miss the compass. If the intellect of the person, the part that contains his intelligence, is struck with pride, his soul will suffer from disastrous consequences as the passions of envy, resentment, bitterness, and jealousy will blind and deaden her. Man can utilize science and intelligence to resolve problems, find satisfactory answers to essential dilemmas, obtain longevity, and accomplish other dreams. However, neither science nor intelligence is omnipotent. nor can they resolve any of the essential dilemmas of mankind, especially if the person is polluted with pride. When a human mind is darkened with pride, as was the case with the investigators of the miracle, logic will become perverted and the healthy wisdom is confused. Those that claim to be looking for the truth will be the least concerned with the truth. Pride will lead into absurdities and prompt the person to commit unacceptable and humiliating actions to themselves and to others. The sickness of pride is so fatal and deadly to the human soul that it prompted the fathers and the teachers of the church to focus most of their teaching on it. They ranked pride as more disastrous than all of the illnesses of the soul, because it causes the destruction of the soul as it generates the lethal poison of envy, bitterness, resentment, and jealousy, murdering the soul. St. John of the Ladder states that the first of the visible symptoms after pride infiltrates the soul is the display of an extreme enjoyment of vainglorious actions, possessions, and demeanor. When pride spreads even more deeply into the soul, symptoms such as humiliating others start to happen. The person will lose humility and make shameless spectacles of one's own actions and brags about one's own accomplishments. Man's heart will become complacent and accepting sin, ruling over it. And the person will develop the attitude of hatred if held accountable. When pride has completely metastasized into the entire soul, the final blow will cause the symptoms of denying the existence of God's help to surface. The person will focus on praising one's own efforts and energy, and ultimately the person will develop an extremely evil or cruel character. The Lord Jesus Christ was very clear in his admonition against the danger of sin, of the sin of pride and its grievous results. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled. Matthew 23:12. Jesus also took it upon himself. Jesus also took upon himself the role of the advocate of the virtue of humility and set himself as the role model of this lofty virtue of humility. Learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, Jesus said, Matthew 11:29. Science, intelligence, and knowledge are just simple tools with limited abilities. They can be useful only when and if the person guards against the infiltration of pride into their heart. Saint Maximus, the Confessor, teaches that God Himself will act as our tutor if the intellect is pure. And sometimes the angelic powers or the nature of the created things that we contemplate will suggest holy teaching to the person. If you are thirsty for learning, if you are a seeker of the truth, if your eyes have been sealed from the truth, if you are a scientist or desire to become one, if you are questioning your learning that you have obtained until now, such as principles, philosophies, ideologies, doctrines, moralities, ethics, values, ideas, and attitude, Jesus will not hold any of you or your parents' past learning and teachings against you. He will simply open your eyes, just like the blind man of the gospel today. All you ever need to do is for the Lord to restore the sight of your intellect, is to declare your rejection of the sin of pride. And the Lord will heal you from the jealousy and resentment that are causing that blindness. If you want to put this suggested method to the test, follow the advice of Saint Thalassius from the 3rd century. He said, "Rejoice secretly in the joy of someone you envy, and you will be freed from your jealousy." Our actions disclose what goes within us. No good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit, says the Lord. Luke 6:43. A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. Luke 6:45, said the Lord Jesus Christ. Christos Anesti.